This is a webinar about visualization and manifestation. I've been visualizing and manifesting for far longer than I ever really imagined, but it's something that has changed the course of my life more ways than I could ever even imagine. So I have been visualizing since I was a little kid, just thinking about different things that I wanted in life, all which have come true throughout my life. Manifesting for as long as I can remember as well. I actually drive a car right now that I manifested into my life. And actually, this one I manifested in a very short amount of time, but I drive a newer version of the old car that I used to drive, which is a Lincoln MKZ. When I was a little kid, I actually manifested this into existence without even really thinking about it, but I thought about that car all the time. And I probably saw it when I was like 11 or 12, just driving past me, and I absolutely like loved it. I saw it from a distance. I was like, wow, that's beautiful. And I just thought about that car all the time. And then I ended up getting into a car accident, and I got like an insurance check and stuff like that. And I ended up buying that exact same car without really thinking about how I used to always think about that car. And I just found it. It was an hour away. I went, picked it up, drove it back home right away, bought it in cash, loved it, drove it right back home. And it took me a long time to manifest that, but you can use manifestation to change any part of your life. There's actually a lot of, athletes, wealthy people, like all kinds of different people use visualization to get things that they want in life. I know that Kobe used it, Michael Phelps, Arnold Schwarzenegger. There was even a lady that credits manifestation to winning the lottery, $112 million. Imagine you could win $112 million by manifesting it into your life. So there's actually sciences and everything that it can. So if you can picture something in your brain, it will automatically start to believe it. Even like if you can visually imagine it in your brain, so real that it feels like it's real, your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination because everything you see in front of you honestly is your imagination. It's your eyes imagining everything in front of you by the lights and colors and everything that are right here. So it's pretty crazy once you start actually looking into like the science of everything and how your brain really works. And you're just a brain inside of a body, like an intellect inside of a body. You're not really this body that you sit in. You're just you're the universe having a human experience. So, and what I mean by that is honestly, we literally are all the universe. We're made up of chemicals and, things like the scientific, the periodic table, sorry, that everything is made up of stardust. The universe, like space, that's why I have space as the background of this. I think that space and the time is everything is the same. There's one substance, and that is the universe. That is the higher power. That is what some people would say is God. And that's what I think that's where I correlate God with is the universe. The higher power is the universe, as we're all just the universe having a human experience. So what I would do is I used visualization to get where I am right now. If you haven't seen my videos, I live on the ocean in Florida, where I used to live in Manchester, New Hampshire, middle of the city. Just I had a house and everything, and it was great, but it was not beautiful views. I was not waking up to the ocean every day. And what I attest to where I live right now, I actually have, I'd say I visualized exactly where I'm at. So I had a guided visualization that I did with somebody else that they said, imagine waking up in your dream house. So my waking up in my dream house was I'd wake up, I'd look to my right, and I'd see big bay windows or big bay glass slider, whatever. And you see the ocean right in front of you, which is legitimately like right behind this right here. This slider is the ocean. Like there's a beach in the ocean. And it took me a long time to visualize that though. I mean, not as long as you might think, where it's like it took me years, but it took me about 9 months of just visualizing that all the time and not just visualizing it where I'm sitting down for 20 minutes a day and or 15, 20, 30 minutes a day and like sitting and closing my eyes and visualizing, but actually like keeping it at the top of my mind. So I did sit down and visualize it, like physically sit down, visualize it, imagine myself getting into the feeling of living in that house, walking out, feeling the breeze. That's another thing too. So when you're visualizing, you want to really feel like you're there. Like you wake up in the morning, you smell the aroma of the room that you want to have, the house, like it's what's it smell like? What's it? And to me, I would always imagine like the ocean breeze, like or like the ocean, like the smell off the ocean. So that's like one thing I always use in my visualizations is like the smell of the ocean. And when I open my eyes, I would see, and while I'm having my eyes closed, doing this for 15 minutes, I'd wake up in my dream house. I'd look over, I'd see my wife, and then I'd see, right there would be the ocean and I would smell the ocean. I'd go outside and step on the balcony and I would feel the breeze off of the ocean. And if you have like a hard time with stuff like that, I think the easiest way to work into a visualization is I made a video about this yesterday actually on YouTube that if you go and feel it. Like go spend a night at if like say you had the exact same visualization as me and you wanted to live on the beach. Go rent a hotel room for the night that's right on the ocean and wake up in the morning, look out onto the ocean and walk out there and feel the breeze. If you want to have a certain car, go to a dealership and test drive that car so it's easier for your brain to imagine. Not everybody has the best imagination, you got to work on it and work towards having a good imagination. So that was one thing that I recommended to a lot of people is like if you have a hard time with things like that, go out and actually experience it. So it's way easier for your brain to have that. If you want to have that experience, it's easier to have that experience actually after physically doing it, and then you can imagine it really easily. So I didn't do that per se with the visualization to Florida. I have done that in the past though, like with the car, with the Lincoln. I visualized myself driving the car when I was a little kid. When I was a little kid, and then I ended up driving the car when I was 19 years old. Same exact one that I saw, silver, the MKZ, everything was the exact same as what I imagined when I was a little kid. So that I definitely do attest to visualization, manifestation. I want to play a couple videos of just like Michael Phelps and like Kobe Bryant and stuff talking about how they would use visualization. It's just a couple minutes each, and just so you guys like, I'm not the only one. This is a scientifically proven thing that people do to get better results in their lives. So let me just share this really quick. So this is Kobe Bryant. Hold on, I just want to make sure you can actually hear it. I don't know if you can. This is Kobe Bryant talking about actually visualizing and just, you know, here we go. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it like this. It's perfect.
Like sometimes you
So
lay
this is
down in
Kobe
bed and
Bryant
you
talking about
visualize
visualizing.
things. You just kind of, that's at least how I would go to sleep. I'd lay down, I'd imagine playing for the Lakers, and I would imagine what the uniforms look like. I'd imagine where we'd be playing, and the smell of the arena and all sort of stuff. And I would see myself, getting hot, and score 10 straight points. But in a dream, like, why would you ever interrupt that? Like, you're not going to have a dream and be like, okay, and then he misses his next six. Like, it's not going to happen. So you just keep dreaming and dreaming and dreaming. And before I go to sleep, I'm like at 120 points, And so when you grow up, downloading that into your brain over and over and over. And then, that summer, I made 1,000 shots a day. 1,000, right? That's on top of weight training and my conditioning. I made 1,000 shots, and they weren't just shots. It were shots that you saw in that game. There were specific shots. I mean, it was coming out of the corner, going to the pinch post, footwork in the post, coming off the screen. It was very specific. So when you download that into your system and you go out in the court and you're just executing things that you've done thousands of times before and you have that dream, then that becomes possible.
As a neuroscientist, what do you attribute when people talk about visualization? And visualization is it's a huge.
That's Kobe Bryant talking about visualization. This is something that one of the best basketball players of all time would use to become one of the best basketball players of all time. He would see himself making the shots. He'd see himself winning the game. He'd see himself winning the championship. Like this is a a legendary basketball player talking about how he would use visualization to actually get to that point. This is a video here of Michael Phelps and his coach talking about visualization and the importance of preparation. You can see it on the side there, like relaxation techniques, keys to visualization. These are all really great video. This is like actually a really great video to talk about visualization too, right here. Um, it's only 4 minutes long. His coach and him go over how he would use visualization to get to that point. And this is legitimately the most winning athlete of all time right here. He has the most gold medals in Olympic sports history in the world. You know, this is one of the best athletes in the world talking about how he would use visualization to, well, it's his coach talking about how he taught him how to use visualization to, or his dad or something, I don't know. But it's him and his coach, I think, talking about how he would use visualization to get to that point and win these gold medals and how he would never let anything affect his mindset while using visualization.
And sometimes it's like you're in the water swimming. The key to visualization is number one, it has to be very vivid. It has to be rehearsed many, many times.
Many
And the
times.
reason it works is because the brain cannot distinguish between something that's really vividly visualized and something that's real. So by the time Michael steps up on the block to swim a race in a World Championships or Olympic Games, he's swum that race hundreds of times in his mind before he gets up there. So then when he gets up, all he has to do is shut everything down and it goes on autopilot. His body automatically knows what to do. The brain just switches into what he's visualized. And that's what's really powerful about visualization.
When I would visualize, it would be what you want it to be, what you don't want it to be, what it could be.
Yeah.
No,
So it's
go.
like you're always ready for anything that comes your way. So it's like if I would have a suit rip, fine, I need another suit, put it on. You know, like any small thing that could go wrong, I'm ready for.
So that's Michael Phelps, the most winning Olympic athlete of all time, talking about how he would use visualization to get to a point of already have swam the race 100 times. I think one thing that the coach or his dad said something in there that was incredibly important is that you have to do it a bunch of times. You can't visualize something you want one time and then expect it to work. That's just not how it's ever gonna work. You can't just, oh, okay, let me visualize my dream house. All right, let me get to it. Like you have to do it every single day. I wake up a little bit earlier every day than the rest of my family just to make sure that I can go outside and visualize. Actually, like I'll go out on my deck, I'll close my eyes, I'll use a guided visualization, or I'll use like just music, like really light, like music kind of just to block out any other noise from my brain and just sit there and think about the life that I want. Who do I want to be? What do I want? How do I want to earn that? How much money do I want to earn? What house do I want to live in? How do I look in 50 years? That's something that I've actually been doing a lot as of recently, like seeing myself in the mirror, like jacked, not like jacked, but like fit, like super, super fit. I mean, like really, really like less than 10% body fat, just absolutely like I've been working out for about 2 years, really heavy. I've got a lot of gains, but I've been using visualization the entire time I've been doing it. So as I'm working out, like I'm doing tricep pull downs or I'm doing a chest press, I'm literally imagining myself getting bigger as I'm doing these workouts. And I have gained a lot of mass. And that's working out. Like you have to use visualization and action. So it's like something that he said in this video, you have to do it a bunch of times, but it's also you have to not only do it a bunch of times, you have to actually put the action behind it. You can't spend all day just visualizing and hope that it's going to come to you. You have to use visualization as much as you can and then actually implement things to get to that visualization. Like I didn't just visualize my way to Florida. I had to sell my house. I had to move to Florida. I had to get all my stuff packed up and move and find a place to live. Like there's actions behind the visualizations, you know? So I don't want to make it seem like I think it was Bob Proctor that said like don't become so spiritual that you become useless to the or outer worldly that you become useless to the world, something like that. Like don't become so lost in the visualizations and manifestations that you're useless in the real world.
Visualizing became a normal thing. And I never really knew that I had really a very special ability to visualize and to connect the dots, to say to myself, well, if I can see it, then it must be a reality. And I can make it a reality. So for me, the vision became a reality. So it was only then a matter of following through with the work. Because every single time when I had a vision about anything, I had to work my ass off. But it was
What I was just
pleasure.
talking about.
See, that is the great thing. When you go to work and you know exactly why you're working, then it becomes fun, a challenge.
So that's a big thing. Like I just said, like you have to have work behind the visualization. But like Arnold, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like this is a guy that they named the Olympic, like or not the Olympic, but the bodybuilding competitions after. You know, like he is one of the best. He's also a huge person that used visualization. In that same interview, he goes on to talk about like how he used visualization to become a great actor, how he used visualization when he was the governor of California. I don't know if he was a good governor or not. I can't speak on that, but you know, um, he would use visualization for every aspect of his life. And then, like he said, he would fall in love with it. Like he would have fun while he was working because you know why you're working. You know why you're doing something. It's getting you to a goal that you have because you already know what the end goal, you already know what the end like result is. You already know that like it's moving into Florida. You already know that it's living on the beach. You already know that it's living in that mansion, that it's driving the Ferrari, that it's doing whatever you want to do with the visualization, but you also have to put the work behind it. One of my mentors says that you need to fall in love with the aspect of actually going to that goal. It's not being that goal and like, okay, working my butt off to get to that goal, and then, yay, I got the goal, everything's good. It's falling in love with the process of getting to that goal. So you have to imagine yourself as the person that's achieved the goal that you want to achieve and then live backwards from that. So you already are that person, and now you're just trying to, you're up here, you're already, this is you right now. You imagine yourself as this person right here and then you live backwards from that. Like how did the you follow the steps that you would go to get to this point. You are this person already. You just have to imagine yourself every day as this person and then live from that perspective and fall in love with the journey to that person. That's one of the biggest things is being in love with the journey to that person. There's gonna be ups and downs. It's not always gonna be a easy road to get to what you want. Nothing good in life comes easy. I'm sure everybody that is watching this video has heard that before. There is never going to be something in life that's super easy for you to get to that is actually good for you. And if it is, it's probably going to end pretty quickly. So that's a big thing. Like falling in love with the work to get to that visualization that you have. Because you're not just going to imagine yourself in that visualization for a year and achieve that without any work behind it. And if you hate what you're doing while you're doing it, you're probably not going to reach the final goal of what you're trying to achieve. So that's just one thing. Like even, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he used this in every aspect of his life. Bodybuilding, governor, actor, did pretty well in all of them. I'm pretty sure he was the governor of California for like 10 years, which is pretty solid. And then there's this lady who said that she used manifestation to boom, win $112 million. So she wrote herself a check for 112 million. She placed it under her pillow for 4 weeks. She meditated daily, visualizing herself as the winner. She felt the emotions of already having the money, like it was 100% real. Like she was able to, you know, splurge on her family, spend as much as she wanted to, earn the allowance of having that great life by living from that moment already and working backwards to that moment. She had zero doubt or detachment. Okay, so like that's another thing too. Like if you're visualizing this in the morning time, and I've suffered with this myself. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I haven't. If you're sitting here in the morning time pretending like you're never gonna, or that you're gonna reach this goal, and then right after your visualization, you go back to your normal life and you don't live from this moment and you don't act like you already have it. Like there's zero doubt that you're gonna reach this, and then you go and throughout your whole day thinking about how you're going to reach this goal by doing something you love, then you're probably never going to reach it either. Like I said, if you hate what you're doing, you're probably never going to reach it because you're doubting actually getting to the finish line and getting to this goal up here. You know, she eliminated all negative influences, no TV, no bad news, no low vibes. So I actually didn't watch any TV. Me and my wife took the TV out of our room in October. A year ago now, actually. I haven't had a TV in my room in over a year because I don't want to spend night times. And don't get me wrong, like I still will scroll on, like on, and sometimes I wish I didn't, but like I'll still scroll on like Instagram and stuff, but just try to take the negative stuff and move it out of your life. It's a lot harder than it sounds. Like I just said, like just do this. It's like it's a lot harder than it sounds, but you will get to the point where you're trying to push every negative thing out of your life and you can do it. I promise you. Step six, she stayed focused because she had a huge purpose. After her brother's passing, she wanted to gain custody of all his children and needed financial stability to support that. So she would probably, I don't know for a fact, but she would probably imagine herself having the money and feeling the gratitude of having that money so she could provide for all of her brother's children. And then she'd probably wake up in the morning time in her visualization and imagine herself waking up and having the abundance of taking care of all these kids, them all being fed, being happy, and in a great home. So this is her talking about actually winning the lottery off of manifestation.
112 million on a sheet of paper, and I put it under my pillow and slept on that number for a few weeks and meditated. I'm very heavy into meditation.
Breathing in positivity, removing all negativity.
The positive thinking paid off 112 million times over. Cynthia opted for the lump sum payout of 67 million, which she shared with her father and brother. After taxes, they each took home $22.3 million.
I wrote 112 million on a sheet of paper, and I put it under my pillow and slept on that number for a few weeks and meditated.
So that was like she would just imagine herself being able to do and have the things that she needed to have. And that's just really like what you can do. You can imagine yourself having the thing that you want. And obviously, like if you don't have a big goal, then you probably don't have anything to visualize yet. But one big thing that you need to do in life, and you don't need to do anything in life, but one big thing that will change your life is having a goal, and like a true goal where it's like I want to be, say you're a moving company, you're like I want to be the biggest moving company in my state or in my area, in my region, or I want to be the biggest mindset coach in my region, in the United States, in the world, whatever. Or I want to be the biggest coach in my area. I want to be the best real estate agent in my state. I want to be, the biggest construction company in my state. I want to be the biggest landscaping company in my state. And then have that goal. Imagine yourself being that person that you want to be and living backwards from that until you can achieve that. And like I haven't I still have a visualization. Like I reached the visualization of living in Florida, but I still have another goal, a bigger goal than moving to Florida. That was just like, here's where I started. Here's my goal. That was just a little speck on the, on the way up. Like there's little things that you can do, like little visualizations in between the main goal. So I have a big goal that I set, big goal. And then I'm like, okay, here's a pin, boop, here's another pin, boop, and then you reach the goal. So you set like little goals along the way to help you reach that big goal. And that's really just like how visualization is something that can be huge, like you can really imagine anything you want to be in life and you can really achieve anything you want to be in life. That's one thing that I think a lot of people get to is like they just hear like, they grew up in a home where it's like you can't be anything. That's out of this world. Don't think like that. That's crazy. What are you talking about? And you can really be anything you want to be in life. And don't let anybody in the world stop you from trying to achieve that goal. Honestly, if they're stopping you from trying to achieve that goal, it's probably because they feel uncomfortable. They haven't reached the goals they want to, and they're scared to move forward. My mentor says if you let fear control you, you've gone as far as you've ever gone in life. And that's one thing that I believe in wholeheartedly. Like, if you let fear control you, you have gone as far as you will ever go in life. And if you guys have any questions about manifestation or visualization, that's something that I'd be happy to talk about any time of the day. I would love to talk about that with anybody that needs it. If you want, it's not like I'm gonna try to sell you on my course or anything like that crazy. I just want to talk to people about bettering their lives because that's why I'm doing this for. Is like I want to help people move forward like I did in life. Like I used to be in the dumps before, not in the dumps, like, but I was in a mindset that was horrible. I did not like what I was doing, and I just was like, I gotta keep doing it because that's what people do is they work until they're 60 and then they retire. And I was in that same mindset. You don't need to live in that mindset forever. And I want to get people into that mind, like into that before they get to a point where they're 40, 50, 60 years old and they're just living a life that they're pretty much waiting to end. That's I think what a lot of people do is like, you have a great life, hopefully with your family or, whatever, your wife, husband, kids, and at some point you're just like, all right, I'm gonna retire in the next couple of years and then I'll get to enjoy my time. And it's like, how is that fun? You want to be 70 years old with maybe 10 to 20 years left to live? You don't have to live like that. And I'm looking to prove that to a couple people for sure. But if you have any questions at all, definitely feel free to reach out. This is on YouTube, but I'll have it on like I have, Facebook, TikTok, whatever you're on, just reach out. Don't be afraid, Instagram, whatever. And let me know what you need and we can maybe, go over a few things. Give you some tips on how to manifest better, how to visualize better, and we'll kind of go from there. I almost forgot the most important part, the guided visualization. This is something that's absolutely changed how I've been able to imagine the life that I want. When I first started visualizing without guided visualizations, I would not have been able to go forward. I just couldn't use my imagination as I once was able to when I was a younger kid. So this is something that has absolutely changed the way that I've thought and used visualization, my imagination within the last year. So I wanted to just walk you guys through a guided visualization of me and you going through and just meditating and visualizing the life that you want to live. So we're going to start by just taking a couple deep breaths into our heart center. And you're going to keep taking deep breaths. And as you feel the warmth and the gratitude, just close your eyes and keep taking deep breaths. I want you to know that you are the universe having a human experience. You are the universe having a human experience. Now, as your eyes are closed and you're taking deep breaths in this meditation, I want you to imagine a golden aura swirling around you. Almost like a tornado, but soft and gentle, just moving around you. And you can feel the warmth coming from this aura and just filling your body. You feel the gratitude and the happiness that you just woke up this morning. It's such a wonderful life that we get to live. Now, with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine this golden aura completely surrounding your body head to toe. And you feel the warmth of this aura. It goes into your big toe. It starts filling your body with the warmth and love and gratitude. And you can feel the aura moving through your foot, into your ankles, even to the bottom of your heel, and the warmth is taking over your foot. And the aura slowly makes its way up your calves, into your knee, through your kneecap, and up your thigh. And as you feel it go through your butt cheeks and your hips and all throughout your pelvis, your waist down is now completely relaxed and filled with warmth and love. And you just feel this flow through your body. It makes its way up to your belly button and into your stomach. And you take a deep breath and you just let your gut relax. You just feel the relaxation. You feel the stress go out of it. The aura makes its way up your chest and into your shoulders. And you take a deep breath, and the stress has been taken off of your shoulders. The aura makes its way through your arms, down to your elbows, down your forearm, and to your wrists, all the way to the tip of your fingertips. You can feel this warmth, this love, this gratitude. This wonderful aura is just moving through your body, and everything from your neck down is now completely relaxed. And you can feel the aura slowly creep into your neck and into your jaw, and all the clenching and stress has been completely removed out of your jaw. You feel your jaw relax. It goes into your cheekbones and into your eye sockets and behind your eyes and in your ears, into your brain, all throughout your head is completely relaxed. And this aura is just filling you with warmth and love and gratitude. And you can feel happiness. Now, on the screen of your mind, I want you to imagine the most beautiful view you've ever seen in your whole life. And you're right there, just seeing it and feeling the emotion that you felt when you saw that. And you look over and you see a loved one. They're looking at you. They're smiling. They're so happy to be here with you. They look up to you and they say, "Thank you. Thank you for changing. Thank you for being different in this life." And you give your loved one a warm, warm embrace. And you turn around and you see your dream car parked there on the hill right behind you. And you and your loved one walk towards the car and you get into the driver's seat. This is your car. You love the way you feel in it. You can feel the gratitude running through your body that you get to drive what you once could only dream of. And you reach out and you put your hands on the steering wheel and you just run them along the top of the steering wheel. You can feel the texture of the wheel underneath your hands. And you run your finger across the logo on the front of the wheel. And you turn the car on. You can hear it rev up. And you back out of the most beautiful view you've ever seen, looking at it once again through the windshield of your car. And you turn around and you drive down a long road. that leads you right to the front gates of a long driveway. And right when you pull up, the gates open for you, like you're meant to be there. And you drive down this long driveway, and as you come around that final bend, you see your dream house. And you can only imagine now what that looks like. It's beautiful. You've been waiting for this moment, and you look over again at your loved one, and they have the biggest smile on their face. They're so happy to be there. You pull up in the driveway, and you get out, and you just sit for a second, taking in the beauty of this home in front of you. And you just feel the gratitude of being in this moment. This is something you used to only dream of, and you're here living it. You can smell the scent of the home, the pine trees in front of you, the view of the ocean, the breeze off of the ocean. Whatever your dream home brings you, you can feel this. Whenever you feel like it's necessary, I want you to take a few deep breaths and start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes and come back into the realization of where you are right now. Bring yourself back to the room. You can live in this moment as long as you need to. The gratitude, the happiness, all your dreams have come true. And whenever you feel like the time is right, I want you to open your eyes and live in your present moment with the same gratitude that you had sitting in your dream car in front of your dream house with your loved one.